Imagine a job where your smile glows in the dark. It's the 1920s. Factories across America are hiring young women, teenagers mostly, to paint tiny watch dials with a glowing magical paint. The substance? Radium, the element discovered by Marie Curie. Radium was marketed as a miracle cure in cosmetics, tonics, even chocolate. So why would anyone think it was dangerous? The women dipped their brushes, shaped the bristles with their lips, and went back to painting. Hundreds of times a day. They joked, painted their nails for fun, even slipped a little onto their teeth before dates so they'd shine in the dark. But behind the sparkle was something deadly. With every brushstroke, with every laugh, with every glowing smile, the poison crept deeper into their bones. This is the tragic story of the Radium Girls. Who they were. The jobs were considered prestigious. At U.S. Radium Corporation in New Jersey, or Radium Dial in Illinois, these positions were well paid compared to other women's work. Most dial painters were daughters of immigrants, thrilled to help support their families. They were called ghost girls because after a shift, their dresses sparkled in the dark. To them, it felt glamorous. The companies told them the paint was harmless. Managers even reassured them radium was good for health. Doctors at the time prescribed radium water as an energy drink. It was the future, or so people believed. So the women kept lip pointing. The average painter ingested dangerous amounts of radium every single day, not knowing their bones were turning radioactive. The first symptoms. The nightmare began slowly. First came toothaches, jaw pain, fatigue. Dentists pulled teeth, but the wounds never healed. Instead, bone disintegrated. One girl went in for a routine dental exam. The dentist touched her jaw, and her entire bone came out in his hand. Others developed anemia, headaches, aching joints. Their spines weakened, hips collapsed, skin ulcerated. Radium mimicked calcium, lodging in their bones, blasting them with radiation from the inside out. The women didn't just look sick, they glowed, literally. Their breath, their skin, even their coffins at burial emitted faint light. Yet the companies denied everything. They claimed the illnesses came from poor hygiene, or worse, from syphilis. This was not just denial, it was character assassination, a cruel way to shame women into silence. But the deaths were impossible to ignore. Dozens, then hundreds of young women were buried. Decades later, scientists with Geiger counters found their graves still hot. The radium inside them continued to glow long after death. The courage to fight. In 1927, 5 women, Grace Fryer, Edna Hussman, Catherine Schaub, and sisters Quinta MacDonald and Albina Larice, decided enough was enough. Grace, once a healthy teenager, now wore a steel back brace to hold her body upright. The women could barely walk, some could barely speak, yet they faced down one of the most powerful corporations in America. Their case became national news. Headlines screamed about the living dead girls. Photographs showed them smiling weakly from wheelchairs, their faces thin, their bones crumbling. The nation was horrified. Ordinary workers, daughters, sisters, friends, sacrificed for profit. The lawsuit was grueling. Company lawyers stalled, hoping the women would die before testifying. But they didn't give up. Their courage forced a settlement. $10,000 for each woman, plus medical expenses. A fortune at the time, though no price could match their suffering. More importantly, their case forced the world to listen. How it changed history. The Radium Girls' fight didn't just win them justice. It changed the future of labor rights. Their case set precedent for workers to sue employers for occupational diseases. It pushed lawmakers to create stricter workplace safety laws. It reshaped how scientists studied radiation and worker exposure. When the Manhattan Project began years later, safety protocols around radiation were influenced by lessons from the Radium Girls. Even OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, created decades later, traces its roots back to their tragedy. Every mask, every warning label, every radiation symbol in a lab today owes something to their suffering. Conclusion. The Radium Girls never asked to be heroes. They wanted jobs, independence, a brighter future. Instead, their bodies became testaments to corporate greed and scientific ignorance. But in their suffering, they exposed the truth. They gave workers a voice. They saved lives that came after them. Their glow was not a sign of health but of sacrifice. And today, their story still shines, not as a miracle of science, but as a warning from the old days.